Hello! Welcome to another episode of Western Adventures. Today we're out in the New Mexico desert. We're at this copper, gold, lead, silver, and zinc mine. Never been out here before. This is my first time. Seen quite a bit of stuff while driving in different spots. So let's check it out and see what we can find. So the first thing I noticed when I was driving up was this stone structure that maybe could have been powder storage for explosives. It has a metal door, stone and concrete walls. Looks pretty well built. Got waste rock piles all over. You can see there's a big waste rock pile right in the distance down there. And there's even, I passed an old car down there, so we're gonna see if we can hike up to that on our way out of this place. Oh, here it is. Like I said, nice stone walls. We got a concrete roof. Looks like it had some sort of, I don't know what that is, a tar or something at one point. And here's the door. Very solid. I'm gonna go ahead and guess it was powder storage, just given the way this thing was built. But then again, there was a hole here. So if it wasn't, then there was a vent for something. But usually, powder storage does not have doors as thick as this and strong as this. So let's stick with that theory for now. Hey, now we're gonna go head up this way, where we found we got a head frame and we got the Hoist house. So there's the head frame, and I didn't notice this structure right here behind this bush. Interesting. I wonder what this stuff is right here. Bags full of I wonder if these are samples, rock samples of some sort, because they're all in bags. Very fine rock. And you see we have different types of rock. We have these, also fine. Then we have these ones, which I just picked up. So we have two different types of rock here in these bags right here, which is really interesting. Okay. Wow, would you look at that? Here's the original Hoist right here. You have the chair the worker would sit on and operate this. You have the brakes and the levers. Very cool. And this is all intact. And you can see the cable right there going out to the head frame. Looks like we got some storage for tools and things here. And then we have what was the motor that drove the hoist. You got your drive shaft. Wonder what kind of motor this is. Well, this is very cool. Ah, it's a good old Detroit diesel. Nice. Okay, let's make our way down to this head frame here. And then after that, we're gonna head down that way and see what we can find. They would probably dump the ore over here. They would drive a truck or something, and they would probably dump it in this way, right here, I'm assuming, because there's no other reason why there would be a big open pit over here like this. And then let's go over here. There's your head frame. Not as big as other ones I've seen at different sites, but still pretty cool. Let's get up this hill here. There's a better look at the hoist house from here. And I'm wondering if this was a walkway. Feels like maybe it was a walkway, or maybe it was something else. So there's your cable going up to the pulley up there, the pulley wheel coming down. I'm surprised I'm not seeing any track here, work cart track. And then this goes down over to here. I don't want to slide down the hill, so we're gonna go down another level and see what's down there. Looks like this was some sort of a ladder maybe at one point, or platform. And we got this over here. Looks like a base to something. They got a water pipe over there. It's more modern. Let's go look over here real quick and see if there's anything down in here. There's some timbers and stuff scattered around down there, over here. Water pipes, small pieces of metal. Doesn't look like there's much over there. This doesn't look like it was a terribly big operation, but it doesn't look like anyone's been working it for quite a while. Well, this is neat. Look at that old bucket right there. I wonder if the Okay. I think the mine shaft is right down here. I think we're standing on it. And then there's the bucket. So that would pull up the ore. I think this is safe enough. So this would pull up the... Now this explains why there's no track. This was on skids right here. So this would pull up the ore and dump it. Very cool. I've never seen anything like this before. Neat. Okay, so with the shaft underneath us, let's do the rock test and see if we can gauge how deep this mine was. Huh. I didn't hear anything. I heard it a little bit. Let's see if I can get a better look in there. Can't see much. There we go. Let's put that in like that. There we go. Okay, I see a ladder. Let's do another rock test here. The rock may have gotten caught up on something. So let's get another rock here. Let's get a bigger rock than the one I had. And let's throw that one down. This will come in handy with a 3, 2, 1. Huh. I am not really hearing anything. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's that. That bucket is still mighty cool. Let's do another rock test at this one. Okay. Hard to tell. I honestly don't know. Okay. Looks like they have some widowmakers holding up the rock here. And if you explore mines, you know what widowmakers are and why they call them that. This rock is very loose over here. But yeah, there must have been some sort of an older head frame or ore cart setup over here. Went out there, it looks like. So you can tell there are 3 or 4 different levels of waste rock. So it looks like they were also possibly doing some mining activity over there too. Another look at your head frame, the bucket hoist. Okay, I'm seeing it now. So you see those, the skids, they would pull the bucket up, it would go on those 2 skids up there, and then they would lower it down or dump it into the waiting vehicle. And up there you got an old generator for something. Okay, so I just drove to a different part of this area here, and it looks kind of interesting, like more like an open pit style mine. Over here, this whole area looks like they've been mining it out. And I did see some very cool building foundations back that way, which we'll go check out. I saw some timbers up on top of that waste rock pile. So maybe they blasted this area out, or they had different portals at one point. Okay, we got something over there and something over here. Got an old, looks like an old camper here. A truck bed camper. Here we got some old timbers right here. We got a portal. So like I said, I wonder if at one point this area was, they just opened it up a bit. You can see, you got all that holding up the rock right there. These don't really look like adits. They look more like just open areas here. Let's go check out. It's very, very cool in there. It's almost like a natural air conditioning. See, we have some more timbers up there. Have this one right here. Okay, so what I'm seeing is you have open over there. You can see the daylight that meets up with the other part of the tunnel. Then you have a cut up there and a cut down there. But I don't have my headlamps are actually charging, so we're not going to go in this one. And so with the way that truck camper is set up on some timbers, makes it look like somebody was working here at one point and they dropped their camper and made this their spot where they would stay. Yeah, this looks like it's all been blasted out. And here's your other portal right here. Let's see how far we can get into this one without my light. I can't go too much further. It's like some natural air conditioning now, which is, feels great on a day like this. We're getting into summer and it's going to start getting very hot out here soon. So there you got a big foundation there. And then there's a chimney over there. We're gonna walk to the top of this waste rock pile. Okay, so here's a foundation with some studs. This might have been where the milling took place. Right there you got a foundation, a wall. Foundation there, a foundation there, and a foundation up there. And they continue up this hill right here. Oh yeah, here's another foundation right here. You know, maybe I was wrong about this being a smaller operation. There's actually quite a bit over here. I mean, you got timbers, so I guess this was a bigger operation at one point, or we'll say mid-sized operation. There's that part of a car I saw from the road right over there. So you have a timber sticking up out over here. You got some metal. So it looks like the ore was brought out this way, then it was dumped. Unless there's a shaft here, everything went out that way. And the waste rock will get trucked. There's another foundation right there. Got a big open pit. I wonder if this is cause right now we were just down below down there looking in. So let's see what's in here. That's completely sunk. Let's go over here. That might be the top of where we were before. Let's check this one out right here. Oh yeah, look at that. That goes way down. Oh boy. Let's look around from the other end there. What a hole. That's deep. That's very deep. If you fall in there, you're not getting out. Look, we got some bricks over here. This is turning out to be a pretty cool place. Okay, so let's do the test there and see. Well, let me go to a better spot where we can actually look in and see the rock going down into the pit right here. And I grabbed a pretty decent sized rock, so we should be able to see. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go! I heard it hit the side, but it might hit soft dirt down there. That's why I didn't hear anything. There's no wood or metal or anything for it to fall onto. So if I could take a guess, that goes down to those portals that we saw down over there. Because you see, that's where we were down there. And this right here looks like that's just sunken in down there. But if you go down by those trees and look down, that's where we came in. So that adit probably goes all in the ground over here. And if you were to walk further inside, you would be able to look up this giant hole in the ground right here. And here's the old truck. And maybe we have another shaft over here too. Yeah, it looks like it. Cool old mining truck. Nothing much left of it. Look how they oh, this is the double. Look how they have the leaf springs. Usually they're down like this. They're actually up like this. That's an interesting setup. So here you had looks like you had two drive axles. You had a drive shaft going to the motor and transfer case and everything. Yet another drive shaft going to that axle. So this truck must have hauled some heavy loads in its time. And there is nothing left. I mean, nothing left of this truck. They took everything. This might make a good thumbnail. Okay. Let's check out this right here and see what it is. Let me grab a rock. Another deep shaft. Oh yeah. There you go. I can kind of see the bottom. It looks like it goes down at a kind of an angle, then it goes straight down. But there was definitely something here at one point, because they had all this wood up here. This also probably goes down to those lower adits that we were looking at. There's yet another foundation up there. Isn't that pretty cool? Here's a back view of that truck. Alright guys, well, that's going to be a wrap for today's video. I have a couple other locations to go to on my map. We're going to check out some other stuff. Got a couple more videos coming out soon and following a week. Thanks for watching guys. Take care. See you in the next one.